50%?
7%.
I think less than 10%.
Who was here 15 minutes ago? 0.5 to 3%. So only 0.5 to 3% are going to click and go to your website. Okay. Now we find the people, let's say this is a bigger number, so we get 100 people in your website. Those are the people who are interested, right? We find them, they click, they went to the website. How many of those that are now interested are going to actually buy? 11%, okay.
0.3, 0.5 to
0.5 to 3%, exactly. So the people who are going to buy, it's only going to be 0.5 to 3%. So the question is, so if I get 100 people, let's make it easier. 1%, let's say, is going to buy, okay? So out of 100 people who visit our website, only one person is going to buy, okay? That's easy. How many people do they have to see my post, my ads, in order, let's say this is 0.5%, in order 100 of them to click, to visit our website, and then out of them, someone to buy?
5,000.
2,000. Does anybody have a calculator? 2,000?
5,000.
Huh?
It's 5,000.
5,000. Okay, somebody do 5,000. 5,000 times 0.5. How many people do we get to our website? Huh? 5,000 times 0.05. 25. So it's not 5,000. We need 100 people. Come on, it's easy. So it's 25?
20,000.
20,000. So we need 20,000 impressions because only 0.5% of them are going to click to come to our website and only one of them is going to buy. Usually at this point of the seminar, half of the class gets up and leave the room because we need to generate 20,000 impressions. That's why we need massive exposure. That's the problem why we don't sell. Because we believe by just posting, it's enough. And Facebook get that number, okay, and it's the number that it shows us on the top of the Facebook page, but most of us, we ignore it. Okay, let me show you that number. So, for example, let's say, okay, this is one ad we created. Reach is the number of people, okay? Impressions is the number of appearances, okay? So 39,763 people saw the ad, okay? But only 105 click on the ad. What's the percentage? 0.26, okay? So when you set up the advertisement, you should set them up and pay, as I said yesterday, you should pay with clicks and not impressions. Because if I was paying for impressions, I was going to pay too much for people who are not interested. So if somebody clicks, at least he has some kind of interest for your product or service. And because you're going to be paying only per click, that means that advertisement so far cost me only 11 euros and 55 cents. Okay, so always, yes?
Sorry, can I ask a question about this when it was the first from impression to website?
Yes.
Because on the pyramid, it's like 7% of thinking about it now.
Yes.
Wouldn't they click as well and go?
Yes.
Why we count this
Yes,
like
yes.
small amount
Good.
only who's buying?
What's your name?
Evgeny.
Evgeny.
Yeah.
Evgeny. Excellent point. Out of those 0.5 to 3% that they click, you have people from the 0.5, but you also have people from the 7%, and you also have people from the 20%. You understand? That's why, you still have 0.5 to 3% that are actually going to buy from your website. Okay? So it's not only those people. It's like when you see an ad, for example, and you say, you know, what shall I say? You say, okay, this bag looks nice. Okay, you click on it, but because you just see it, you say it, and then you say, oh my, it's too much, or it's not for me. But you still show some interest.
Yes.
So you might also click on the ad.
Yes.
So it's not only the 0.5 to 3%. Excellent point. Yes. So, but usually, who has an ads manager account? Who opened this account? Raise your hand. Okay. Did you notice your statistics? If you see your statistics, you see it's around 0.5 to 3%, or even less sometimes, or even less. And that's why that's how it works. Okay. Now, how do we? I'm gonna move fast. I'm gonna go.
When we
Yes.
do more package advertising, the rate go higher.
Yes, that's through targeting. We're not talking about just generating massive. We're talking about massive targeting exposure. Okay. So I'm gonna have time. I'm gonna show you how to do it really, really quick if the internet allows us. So we're always talking about our massive target. So your purpose is that everybody in your target market should know about your product or business. Even if they don't buy now, okay, if somebody, who has seen the film Inception with, who was the? DiCaprio, yes. In Inception, the purpose of Inception was that if you put somebody's, you know, a seed in their mind, usually it flourishes. Okay. So if somebody, even if it's in 20%, and he, you know, click in your ad, and you put that, you know, because to click it, that means there is a need, there is a problem, there is something out there. Usually, not all the time, usually throughout time, it's gonna flourish. Okay. So usually, if we're at the 20%, okay, I'm going back and forward. So if we're in the 20%, where is it? Here. If we get people in this 20%, usually through time goes up. Let me prove my point again. Who is actively looking right now to buy a mobile phone within a month, within 1 2 weeks? We only have one person. Who is going to be looking for a mobile after 6 months? After 1 year? After 2 years? You see? So even though somebody says, you know, I'm not interested about your product or service, but, you know, he shows some interest, usually it's going to go up. So, for example, I'm in the 20% about mobile phone because I bought it's not too long. And then I drop it a couple of times. My daughter dropped it. Now my screen is broken. So I move up a little bit, okay? Yesterday I was sitting next to a seminar and one of my friends told me, oh, your screen is broken. Oh, 7%, right? And then if I'm talking to, you know, I have maybe a call with an important customer and then my phone shut down, 3%, you understand? So because we are humans, our needs changes. I had a seminar and I was talking about the air conditioning. I said, for example, in the air conditioning, I'm 70%. Don't talk to me, don't show me, don't say me anything about it. By the middle of the seminar, the air conditioner broke down. Where do I went? 0.5 at the top of the pyramid. So if you get a lot, if you get people, then usually you don't want to pay for these people. You want to know, be able to brand recall it, but you don't want to pay for those people, okay? But you still want it because it's within your target market. So you want people to see it, and from here up, when they get into this stage, usually they're gonna go up, okay? So it's very important to spend money on advertising, but you have to do this here, the evaluation, okay? Because there's a lot of people that say, oh, I don't want to spend money, you know, Facebook ads cost a lot, LinkedIn ads cost a lot, Twitter ads cost a lot, and they don't make sense. Okay. So how do we evaluate?